To be with each other, to bless each other, to encourage each other, and to lift each other up. We can do nothing without family. Family is who God gave us to be, to help us here on earth. And we just thank God we're family. Thank you for coming, and we can start the program. And praise to these 4 women for today and for our family.
This is a stone that we have given to each one of you. Each one of you is going to get one, and it's when you hold it, it says it's supposed to give you strength from your ancestors, and it represents strength.
So now we'll have words from Ethel Carr, Alma Bowie, and Ruth Parker in that order.
Can you hear me?
No. Yeah.
Okay. I happen to be the oldest one of the family, and that is 91 years old. So I'm doing pretty well, I think, today, and getting here and remember. And I had something to say about how old I am and the things that I have done. I went to high school in Clanton, and I graduated in 1926. I went to Alabama State for 4 years. Graduated, and then I moved to Washington, D.C. So all of the children, none of the children were born in Alabama. And they've done very well, I think. And I'm so glad to be here. And if there's anything else you want to know, look at those pictures over there and it shows what's going on with them. Thank you.
Yes. Do you have what I would like to hear words of wisdom from each one of you all?
What did she say?
Words of wisdom. She wants to hear words of wisdom from all 3 of y'all. So these words of wisdom to tell us.
Words of wisdom. Be kind to everybody. And the best thing you do, if you think you're doing something for somebody, don't worry whether they say thank you or not, just you keep on doing what you're doing. Because I've done that for so many people. And I don't worry whether they say thank you or not, because I feel good that I've helped someone.
You can sit there if you want to. You want me to? You mind? Okay.
I'm Alma. I was born Alma William Parker. So I'm Alma Parker, as Brewer now. Class of 1950, children coming training school. Of course, I didn't go to college like the other siblings. I went to Anniston, Alabama. And after being off the farm for a while, I got, you can hear me?
I can't hear you very well.
Speak up louder. Okay. And I went to Anniston, Alabama, then I started working. And after being in a small city for a while, and my brother asked me to leave, I went to Washington, D.C., stayed about 6 months. Couldn't stay in the big city, so I came back and got married. I have one child who's now 64, who's been in a nursing home for 9 years. That's why she's not with me today. And words of wisdom, I say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the best thing to do. And if you find somebody, because she's passed by somebody, look at you, hello, how are you? If they don't say anything, I say, sorry, they feel bad. And I just keep going. I'm so glad to see all of you, I tell you. And it's a blessing to be here. So for the last 10 years, I've gone from one hard thing to another. That's why I'm stumbling, but God bless me so much, and I'm glad to be here. Amen.
I am Ruth Parker, if I may sit. Yes. You mind if I sit?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm Ruth. This is my hometown. I'm so glad to have all of you here. This is something we've been trying to do for years. And I've got to thank Katrina. She said, we're going to do this. And I said, oh, it's so late. She said, but we're going to do this. And she did a great job. I'm a mother of 1. My daughter died at an early age. And I raised her children. She had 5 children. I raised 2 of her children. They're here today, Sabi. This is her mom. This is my daughter over again. She's so much like her mom. That's Jada. That's Jared. Jonathan, Cameron. Wait, okay. I'm so glad they're all here, and I have 2 great-grandchildren. There's little John Stan, Kendall, who's the light of my life, y'all. I want you to know she's my poof, my poof. And I was always a delicate. I took care of my mom and my dad. And I just always been a caretaker. I moved away from home for 3 years, and I'm back. When I came back, I just stayed. And I'm glad to be here. Found us in small places. Okay, it's good. But I'm telling you a word of wisdom. Put God first, and then you will be okay. Good to have all of you here, okay? Love you.
I'm Juanita. I'm Walter, or Peter, oldest daughter, and I came from Texas. And I wanted to tell you about ancestry. I have been working with Gregory Rogers, my 5th cousin, and we've been building our family tree. And at some point today, I want to get everybody's name, full name, middle name, last name, and their birth date, where they were born, so I can add this to the tree. Thus far, I have found one ancestor from our grandmother, your mother, Brown side, who was drafted into the Civil War for the Union. And it's something I think it's very important for our young people to know where they came from. For us, it may be a little bit too late, but the world's changing. We need to know what we need to have our history. Thank you. I did my DNA, and I found that it came from Benin, Togo, Africa, and Cameroon. So Benin, Togo, Benin/Togo, and Cameroon.
What was that the percentage?
36% was Benin, and 30% was.
And then the other part was?
Yep, well, it was 14% was European and 1% Asian. So if everybody wants to do their ancestry, their blood, their DNA, you will get the specifics for yourself. And it's very interesting, and once you go in there, you can find other people from all over the world that you are related to. You carry some ancestry. I find it fascinating. I was in the Air Force for, she wasn't at all. I was in the Air Force for 20.5 years. I retired in 2004 at the grade of Master Sergeant. My sister did as well. She retired a year after me as Master Sergeant. And thank you, Sergeant Goodgame, for being here. I appreciate that. We all do. Do you want me to say anything else? Oh, my children. My husband David is here. He kind of sticks out like a sore thumb where I do where we live. I'm like the ink spot where we live. But my children, my daughter, her name is Afsana. She's 37 years old. My son is Napoleon. He's 32 years old. And he lives in Japan. He's in the Air Force as well. And I live in Austin, Texas.
Everyone, I just want to say how truly blessed I am to see everybody in this room. And I was reading something a month ago, and it was an article that was talking about time, and it was like talking about things that's being misplaced and lost. Anything lost can be found again, but time. And this is the perfect time for us all to get together. And with me being one of the youngest, of our family, we just got to keep this tradition of our family going. This is such a strong bloodline. This is such amazing. This is amazing to me to see all of these people. I was talking to Daniel yesterday, and I was just telling him how excited I used to be when Dad were raised to come. And I got some of this back, and just remembering, memories of us playing football and Thanksgivings and stuff like that. And truly, this is the greatest family to me. We had a lot of men of valor in our family, women who displayed leadership, that had courage, that just was strong. And we all have that in us. And we all have that special. And that's something that's legendary. To have that inside of you. And like Juanita was saying, the world is changing. And we're going to be okay because we got that in us. We got the blood of Parkers from generations just running through us. And with unity and us sticking together and just caring about each other, we can just do anything. I truly love everybody in this room. And like I said, I'm just happy to see everybody. And this is not going to be the last time. It's just the beginning again. And so let's just remember time. Let's not forget time. And let's not forget that we're losing it every day. And as I lose time, I want to lose time with the people that I love. So remember that when losing time, lose time with the people that you love. Because there's nothing else in this world that matters. So, thank you.
You know, it's kind of odd coming up behind Cameron because he was a little fellow with the big eyes. You know, some of my fondest memories growing up as a child was coming to Clanton. When my mom said I became every summer. And I guess these are just some odd things that I remember. Just you think about things you remember. The first time I had cantaloupe. I didn't know what a cantaloupe was until I came to play.
All right.
And Mom would have it when she got up and made those big breakfasts. So those things that I remember kind of growing up. But you know, when you guys, I think it was Katrina that kind of came up with this idea to put this together. This was great because I always wondered, you know, why don't the Parkers have a family reunion? We've never really had a family reunion. You know, and I didn't really introduce myself. I'm Darren. I'm Annie. You guys call Honey's son. Honey is kind of in the middle of these. I think Ethel's the oldest, and I was talking to him earlier because her and Jeannie kind of argued back and forth about who was the oldest. I think they was only separated by 10, 11 months or so they would always argue. Now, I don't know why either one wanted to be the oldest. But these were the people that I grew up kind of looking up to. We would come to Clanton, and it was just coming home. So that was always good for me, and I would love for us to kind of continue this to go on to do something so my kids can learn who their cousins are, because it's a big world. As Cameron said, the world is growing. It would be odd that my kids will run into some of your kids and not know that they're related somehow. So, I hope we can keep this thing going. This is a great event. I'm kind of the world's worst. Look, I live in Mississippi. Everybody gets busy with jobs, family, everything. Making the phone calls. My wife gets on me all the time. Did you call your aunt to just, I don't know why that is, why I can't kind of get to that mode to make those phone calls. I was a late traveler. I'm closer to Cameron's age than I am to my actual cousins that sit right here. So I was a late child. I was always young. I was quiet, but I hope that we can kind of continue this thing going on. It's great. It's kind of odd. I was kind of new to Facebook. Ray told me, hey, so your cousins are asking about you. And that's how I kind of got back in touch with Cameron, Zavi, and Jada. They were on Facebook, and I hadn't seen them since they were like babies. So, I think that's something that we could do better. Hopefully we can kind of continue this going on. We've got the last 3 remaining out of, it was 8, right? It was 8. So we've got these last 3 matriarchs. I hope that we can kind of continue this going on and, just grow as a family, learn each other, build off each other. So thank you.
Good afternoon. is Connie. I'm the oldest grandchild of the Parker family. I think the only person older than me is one in New York. And I'm 65. And this is my mother in the middle. And I just want to say that I'm really proud of all my aunts. And I wish my uncles were here so I could tell them how proud I am of them, because they really left a wonderful legacy. I can't hardly speak about it because I wanted to come in there and do this for a couple of years. But my grandmother was always, and grandfather were always happy to see us when we came. And a lot of kids today don't have that. They don't have grandparents, number one, at all, or they don't have ones that are glad to see them when they come. But when my mom would say, we're going to Alabama, I would get so excited. So it was so wonderful to see my mom and her sisters and brothers when they got together, and to see all my cousins, whether it was Christmas time or whether it was in the summer. But I'm really thankful because I think God has blessed the Parker family. And we have a strong work legacy. That's why we couldn't always get together at the same time, because people were working and the schedule didn't always match. But it's wonderful to be able to take off and have vacation and have some time. And we all need time to get away. And I'm just grateful for everything I've learned from my aunts. They've always shown love to us when we came down to my mom. And so that goodness and that love comes from God. And we need to keep on trusting God. And sometimes we'll have some up days and some down days. But when you have a down day, I heard a preacher say one time, when you're down, just trust God and do good. And just trust God and keep on doing good. And that's what I want to say today. And thank you so much for coming. And it's so good to see all of you.
Thank you. I'm almost a perfectionist because I wanted everything to be just right, because it has been a long time, you know, and times like this don't come around very often. And I just was, I guess the words were excited, you know, so I was willing to go the extra mile and, you know, push the envelope a little bit harder just to make sure that we were able to enjoy this moment, you know. So, yeah, you know, maybe, you know, we didn't have the turnout that we thought we were going to have, but we're here. Well, we're here, right? We're here, we're breathing, we're happy. I mean, you know, it was like something just tried to come in and just kind of like take control of this day. But you know, well, yeah, of course, the devil. But you know what I'm saying? Like when you just come in and you know what you're trying to do and you're trying to prevail, of course something is going to come in and try to attack anything that's good. That's just how it happens. That's just how it works. But we're not going to let it win today, you know? So I'm happy that every one of you all came out to, you know, enjoy this day with us all. And I hope that we can just have good laughter, fun, and definitely good food. Thank you, Bobby.
Why don't you plan a reunion in Atlanta? I said, Davern, no. And he said, why not? And I'll be honest with you, I had too much going on in my life, and I didn't feel I could take it on and do it well. So I declined. Now that we're here, it just feels so wonderful to see everybody. We don't see each other often, but when we get together, it seems like I just saw you a couple of days ago. Does anyone else feel like that?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's good to see how the family has grown up, the additions to the family. I'm excited to be here. Seeing Juanita again after so many years. And you know, when we would come to Clanton, we all had the same joy coming home. We would get on the train sometimes. We would come in the car sometimes. But we would be so thrilled to just arrive in the town and get out at the address where my mom grew up and see the sisters and the joy that they had spending time together. It's been a beautiful thing to witness over the years. So we don't get back as often as we might, but the love is there. And maybe henceforth we will be able to get together more often and spend this time and have this joy together. So do you want me to tell you some funny stories about the past? Yes? Can I tell the story about the peas?
Oh, no.
One time we visited One time we visited Grandma's house, and Pone and my mom were on the front porch talking. And Pone had prepared a wonderful dinner, as she always did, and you know she's a fine cook. So Pone had prepared a pot of peas to go with that dinner. And Katrina was in the kitchen, putzing around. So I went back to see what Katrina was doing. And she's moving around, and the vibration had the peas, the pot of peas, shift towards the edge, and then suddenly the pot fell over. The peas hit the ground. And I said, what is that? Katrina said, it's the peas, it's the peas. And I said, oh no. So we tried to be quiet and hush so Pone wouldn't know what happened. But Pone is used to hearing things all throughout the house. She immediately said, what was that? And you guys who know her know the tone she said then. What was that? And we said, it's nothing. And you know, we were children, we were grown, we were adults. And we said, oh no. And we started to scoop the peas. We tried to get the peas off the top. They had not touched the ground. You're hearing this, it's the truth. We got the peas that had not touched the ground, and we scooped them back in the pot. And Pone, here we come, Pone coming down through the house. And she came in, and Katrina and I stood in front of the peas. And she said, what was that? We said, nothing. And she didn't stop. We thought she would turn around and go back, but she came all the way and discovered the peas and just shook her head. But she did not lose her patience with us. And we still had enough peas to eat. And they were still good. I promise you, they didn't get dirty. So there's another story where Christopher was riding on the horse. Was that Chris on the horse when he was a baby? And you know how the front yard would go down, it had a dip, and we were watching Chris, and suddenly the horse took a dip, and Chris rolled off the horse onto the ground. And we used to all sit on the front porch, right? So we all were watching this, but nobody could help the child. He didn't break anything, though, right? He didn't break a bone. What I want to say about love and forgiveness. You know, in this family. You ready for me to start because you're hungry?
The horse that ran away with you?
I'll come here and tell you.
You're not going to tell that one.
We have to remember, everybody in our family, we can be sensitive sometimes. I'm just going to speak this because we all go through things. We can be sensitive, we can get frustrated, we can take that out on our family members. We can speak to each other in unkind ways and unkind voices. We can have bad things happen and we can hold a grudge for years. But I want to stand here and say today, anything that happened in the past, let's leave it in the past and let it go and start to show that love again like we were just born again today. Because life is short. Life is short and we all have struggles, but we need help. We need love and support so that when we go through struggle, we don't get knocked down and we don't disconnect. And, you know, I know sometimes when I've been frustrated, I might disconnect from the family because I didn't feel that I was receiving enough love. But in the end, if you don't learn how to forgive and put that aside and come back together, you'll be out there on your own. And you will wonder, why isn't anyone coming around? Why doesn't anyone call? Can we all forgive the past and move forward? I heard a sermon recently where a lady said, God put us here to do good work. And you have to let God be God because God wants you to do good work and focus on the future. She said you have to strain and lean into the future and let God do the future. Because if you let the past stick to you, let the past, what somebody did to you, what how somebody hurt you, a lot of times people let that be their God. And that should not be your God. We should be moving forward, trying to retain the love and express the love and move forward in the future. So I'm hoping that we can all do that. I'm here to say I want to be the first one to step forward, and that's why I'm speaking to you now, all of my family who I love.
We know that. Thank you, ma'am.
I have more funny stories, but I won't take up more time because we're hungry.
each other every day. I mean, sometimes you might feel like you know, like us, as brothers and sisters, it's kind of like how we had, you know what I mean? Like every day, you know, family, immediate family, you know what I mean? Some days you might get lonely, you know, you reach out, like you say, everyone's busy, especially these days, everyone is busy all the time. But there ain't nothing to answer the phone or shoot a text back today. As much as everyone is on their phone,
That's right.
it ain't nothing to shoot a text back or answer the phone for your family.
Yeah.
Everybody, nobody want nothing from nobody, you know what I mean? It's just you might feel lonely, you know what I mean? Or we just need to get in touch with one another. And just keep in touch with each other, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing, we all in the United States, you know what I mean? We ain't too far away, you know, we gotta take plane. We state to state almost, you know what I mean? So, you know, we can ride to see each other, answer the phone, FaceTime, you call me anytime, bang. You text, I text back, I text. Family, I got a family group message. If y'all want to get in it, let me know, you know what I mean? I text every morning. Got something funny to say every day, you know what I mean? I'm family, you know what I mean? If you don't see me, reach out to me, I'm here for you. Whatever, whoever, every day, I'm the same one, every day. That's my family, Monica over there, my baby mother, my little man right here. I mean, this is immediate family, y'all immediate family. I love y'all, no matter what. If I don't see y'all every day, I still love y'all.
All right.
I love you.
But yeah, y'all get my number something when we leave. Matter of fact, everyone need to exchange numbers in there. Yeah. You know, keep in touch with one another.
Ben's putting it on her laptop. Oh, okay. Monica, you want something to say? Thank you, John. You want to say something?
Youngest son, there's 5 of us. And before I even forget, I went to see Aunt Edna today. And she gives her regards. She wishes she would have been here. She's in good spirit, good health. And I just wanted to bring you greetings from her because she wanted to let you know that that spirit is here. And she would have been here. It was great seeing her. I haven't seen her since Grandpa's 100th birthday. And like a lot of you, I haven't. But this is the beginning of a continuous contact that we've got to have with one another. I have 3 aunts that are over 80 years old. The Bible promises you how many? 3 score and 10. So one thing the Bible does say is that if you obey your parents, you'll live longer. So that goes to show that Joe was obedient. You know, but it's such a blessing to see my cousins and second cousins. Who's the oldest?
Me, them.
You're the oldest, and who's the youngest? The baby.
Oh, you mean again?
Yeah, it's 8. So we got a range here. And they always say that the Parkers have a longevity. It seems that we do. My father lived to be 93. And 2 weeks before he passed, he bowled with 210. He just acted on up into his last days. And he has us living long so that we can be in communication with each other and encourage each other. And I just bless God for the opportunity. I wouldn't have missed it for nothing in the world. And the next one, which y'all will be here, I'm claiming it. All right, I'm claiming it. Y'all will be here. We'll have many more. My wife also gives her regard. She won't be here. This morning she felt sick and I told her, take it easy. But I'm so glad to see all of you. I love all of you. I have a black book that I got from the flea market. And I said, what am I going to do with that book? And I brought it with me. And I want everybody to write their name. I start off with Etta. I want your address. I want your date of birth. This is going to be my book that I'm going to keep with me for the rest of my days. And I'll pass it down. I can say, I was with this person on this day. with this person, and that we all family, and we just embrace one another, and just stick together. And like your brother said, we got Texas, satellite, we got all that stuff. We just stay together. Let's just keep that contact. Just be amongst each other. It feels so good. I don't have a pen, I got the book. I'm like halfway. But I really get into, what's the grant? What's going on the phone there? It's not paying attention. To you and to, just write, everybody get their own page. Just write, and put your date of birth on it. Right down side.
No, this is Angie. Hey everybody. Hey, I am Angie Dixon. I am, we call Uncle Son. Me. We got some old names. I am just blessed to be here. I'm Angie Dixon. I am B. Dixon and Annabelle, daughter or granddaughter, what you want to call me. I'm just blessed to be here to see my family. And I'm hoping that next year, next time we get together, it's going to be bigger and better. It's just a blessing. I'm so proud to see my people. And I hope we see you tomorrow morning at church. Are you going to make it? Morning service, that's what I'm talking about. All right, tomorrow. Thank you guys.
All right.
Good evening. I just wanted to tell everybody thank you for putting this on. It's been a long time coming, but most of all, David and I got married in February of '97. And his mother passed in March of '97, so I only knew her for a couple of months, but she was a very special young lady. But what I do want to acknowledge is that particular year, the first year, Auntie came and she spent Thanksgiving with us, so she's like stepped into the mother role, and I want to tell her thank you. And she came twice, and then when Ray graduated from college, all three of them came, Aunt Pony, Elko, and some of their children, and Rita, and all of Rita's children. And it just made a special time, and I just want to tell you all thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I know that we don't stay in contact as often as we should, but I'm glad to see that you all are still here, and you all look like you all are healthier than I am myself. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to tell you thank you, and you're doing something right in God's lives for you to still be here. Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going to keep calling to
Love you so much.
Okay. Family. What are we? Unity? Well, of course, supposedly. Isn't it crazy? Busy lives and long distances, but able to come together quickly. Only when a leaf on the family tree has fallen. But if it's during the holiday or random days, gotta keep calling to get us to come together. But busy lives prevent some, maybe financial prevent others, maybe just the idea of it being the same stories with awkward laughter. Or the Aunt Petty that don't feel like being bothered with Uncle Arrogant. Whatever the case, we gotta love all the moments. We're all diamonds because we have life, but being related and sharing love is even more valuable than the bluest diamond. Every time we link, promise it won't be long again, only to link 10 plus years later, some line, just different time. Family is everything. Intermediate, nuclear, extended, whichever, by marriage or just cousin because you've been there since day one. Family is unity. We are one. No matter the last name, you choose family but can't choose the bloodline. We are a circle that goes on and eternal. We pi 3.14, constantly growing. That's what we're supposed to do. No matter its coincidence, we are conscious of the decisions we make. Coming together less is a great mistake, but everlasting. But coming together more is everlasting. Memories of permanent pictures, feeling the hug from your fam, or laughing at your uncle, aunts, cousin, long ago memories. The blessing to see a trio of sisters, beautiful and strong, seeing the different generations all in one room, extensions of the ones who bore in the beginning. I don't know about you, but for me, it's a good feeling. Joy being in the same room with people with different lives and stories, but sharing one story. We are family. And family is abundance, wealth, inner wisdom, stability, relationship, confidence, power, compassion, truth, faithful. But most of all, is love.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
That was really great. She do some good. Okay, let's get a picture. Get a group. Yeah, let's do cousin. Let's get a picture.
We just thank God for this day, for being able to come together, for honoring us, for blessing us, for sending his angels to encamp around us and give us strength. Lord, we ask you to come today into our hearts, into our minds, and give us peace. And as I'm with you, family, today, I want to ask a special prayer for my son. Pray for my son is all I can ask you. And I just thank you for being here and giving me strength, because I know that the devil is a liar. He does not overtake us. We are stronger than the devil, and we've just got to trust God. So I'm just thankful for this day, and that we are able to overcome all things through God. Amen. Enjoy dinner.